All right, we are back. Um, Today, not ideal. Okay. So first thing I want to note is that my Wi-Fi cut off when I was looking for a trade, like literally um, right when I was gonna enter on the trade, the Wi-Fi cut off, and then the trade panned out exactly how I wanted, and you'll see that on the lower time frames. And the idea was actually, it was, um, I was bullish for the day actually. For just a day. But then I think that was my first problem. That was bullish, because in reality we're bearish. Okay, with all tariffs and all the uncertainty and everything that's been going on, um, we're basically bearish, and like overall, short term we're bearish overall, and so I should have kept that in mind. And but the setup to go long was there, like I said, but my Wi-Fi cut off, and then I tried to re-entry on first presented fair value gap, and almost immediately I canceled the trade because it was disrespecting it in terms of seeing higher prices, constant encroachment, the upper half. It was disrespecting it, and yeah, I wanted to see higher prices because today was also Friday, and I was expecting some movement up, like a retracement before a bigger sell-off. Because today, you can see the whole week we just been rallying down pretty much this whole fucking year. Ever since February, we've just been on a downtrend, and you can see even like it's running out these lows. First thing I want to note, draw liquidity was obviously probably this low. Okay, I should have marked it, and you can see how price gets down to it, and now we're expecting lower prices. Okay, what was this? April's low. See, so first thing first, we were still bearish. So bias was wrong, but going long initially was right. But like I said, my Wi-Fi cut off, and then I missed the move, and then I tried to kind of catch the retracement up, but then it wasn't a retracement; it was just a further movement down. And if I go to NQ, what you see here, these were the lows that I was looking at. These relative equal lows. I was looking at those lows, and then I thought, oh, okay, we already took sell side, so why not we get capture some buy stops, and then it eventually rallied all the way down here, and then most likely down there, and yeah, we could be seeing even more down movement. And then that was another thing. I thought we were too oversold and too in deep discounted areas, and I thought that was the reason why going along was reasonable. But I'll just go quickly in the price action of what was I looking at. Okay, just get some stuff out the way. Okay, the 4 hour. So you see, just down, down, down. Let me get rid of that. Wait, um, I really thought we were bullish initially. I knew we were bearish overall, but I just thought we were too oversold. And so I was looking at this monthly swing low taken, and then midnight open. Um, See nothing much, all down movement, immediate rebalance right there. Um, doesn't even want to get up. It's so weak, and yeah, it's kind of just annoying how bearish the markets are. Okay, monthly low right there, monthly low there. This is a month. We're still probably gonna see lower prices. Yeah, that was something I could have. Relative equal lows. I should have seen that. But yeah. So here's the hourly, midnight opens, little manipulation up, equal highs, London equal highs. That was a draw that I was looking at before a sell-off. That was where I thought price would go up to because we were up here at 8 a.m. But nope, I was wrong. And just continued rally down into April low, which was the draw, and I didn't even notice, as well as New York killzone sell side. So down into the 15. So I'll just keep this nice and simple because I don't like. Okay, so where's 8:30? 8:30 opens, rallies up. Okay, that initial rally up, seen as manipulation. And then it takes out this high. And then I thought we had equal highs, and I wanted to I thought that was a draw. I thought that's where price would go up to, and then from there it could either go lower or higher. Then here was monthly swing low. Okay, it's just kind of annoying because it shows different prices. So look, let me show you on NQ. That monthly swing low was at 18,106, and then or that August. This is August, April. Here's August. Low comes in at 1883, and this comes in at 18,193. So it's kind of annoying how everything's just kind of mixed mashed depending on which contract. And I'm on the minis or the micros. But anyways, so midnight opens, rallies up, takes out this high. Not a swing high, but it was a 5-minute swing high. Then it rallies down, SMT, and this is where I was looking to go long, which I was right initially, and then it just fell to New Year kill zone. Could have been a buyer there. But yeah. So this is where my Wi-Fi cut off, and I was slow on going long here below 8:30. And then the Wi-Fi cut off, and then I was looking for a re-entry to see higher prices up into here because I thought that was a draw. And something to know, I was above 8:30, so I should have paid attention to that. And then I was also kind of in a rush trying to get a trade in because I was kind of mad that my Wi-Fi cut off, and then it still panned out beautifully, and I missed it basically because of my Wi-Fi. So just a little emotion in there, but I was still being a little bit patient, and yeah, and then I'll go down into a 5-minute. Look, another 600-point difference. Let me add the lower quadrant. That was the lower quadrant. Immersive. Yeah, we just been bearish. I don't think we're done. We are absolutely not done being bearish. So, I was seeing these as equal highs. High comes in at 18,273. High comes in at 18,270. Yeah, so was it equal highs? I don't know. I was seeing it as relative equal highs, but it does kind of go 273. That's 3 points. So yeah, maybe it was a sweep, a buy side, and I should have looked at that, especially on this high. Oh, it's just been tough, bro. Just been tough. Let's see. So it does take those sides up. I thought, yeah, and then we have an SMC. No, we don't. So that was the first mistake. I think I was trying to force the equal highs, but I should have seen it a 3-point difference. Then we had this immediate rebalance on the 15-minute. Let me go back up. Immediate rebalance initially was getting supported and then just broke down, obviously disrespected, and that's when we saw lower prices. If this is disrespected, then that's when you could be looking at the opposite of what this is. So yeah, first thing, maybe it did sweep out that high. It did sweep out those highs. I was foreseeing like an equal high idea. 5-minute. I was looking at 830 sell side right here, and then I was looking at these lows here. Then we had an SMT, and I was like being patient. I was like, based on experience, this whole entire week I've been entering early, and where's it? Right here. I was looking at this high, and I was like, no, it's too close. ES wants to get it. So then, because look at this close, I was going here. I was looking to go long, but not right there just yet. I was waiting for these lows, because that was the nearest lows. And then that's when we got the SMT on YN right here, and price was up here. Okay, so that's where I was going long at, below 830, where market opened. And you can see this nice setup. Okay, so it rallies up. 9:30 opens, initially rallies up, and rallies down, takes out those 5-minute lows, sells SMT, and this is right when my Wi-Fi cut off. See how it like reacted here? I wasn't happy. It was too little. I want to see maybe price come back down again. And then yeah, so then this whole entire time my Wi-Fi was off. This initial rally higher doesn't reach that high, so then that's when it broke market structure, fair value gap, or inverse fair value gap, and then the first fair value gap right there would have been your entry. Long on this hoe. Stop would have been here. 2-to-1 at first presented fair value gap. Look at that. Look at that. You could even enter it long. It would have been the same idea if you entered long here after the inverse. So, yeah. So, yeah, same idea. So look at that. 2-to-1. How many points? 70 points. 34-point SL right below the iFVG low. And it gets to my objective at a 2-to-1 with first presented fair value gap as a draw. And then price comes down, respects iFVG. This is when my Wi-Fi came back. And I already knew the entry right here. And then I was waiting. And then I was waiting, and then it inversed again, or it officially inversed the fair value gap. I was like, okay, we could see higher prices. Entry on the retest, and then I was aiming for this high, or the relative equal highs, which I thought were equal based on these highs, but I should have noticed that I already took out those highs. I should have noticed that it took out those highs with an SMT. Well, how was it? High right here. There was no SMT, but I should have noticed price already took out the high, so it wouldn't have gone up there. But then that was me thinking, that was me thinking, they were relative equal highs when they already, it was a 3-point difference, so they were not equal highs. And that was my idea, like a little bounce, and then rally up. That was my idea, but then it didn't pan out like that. My stop was at this low. No, it's not that. No, was it? That's my stop right there. I think my stop was like around here, but idea was here, and then cancel the trade. Let me get that back. Then I canceled the trade because I saw price was rallying down aggressively, and it came down to this for value gap, little manipulation, and then we were bearish. Okay, we were bearish. I should have known that this was a draw, and it already took out this high. It already took out that high. Oh my goodness, bro. So rally down, rally up. But even going short, where would the entry be? You know? Because it didn't take out the highs. It did actually. Right here in YM. So SMT. So yeah, this was a turtle entry right here at the reclaimed. Towards sell side. So bias was wrong. Wi-Fi cut off and all. That was my God, bro. That would have been the entry. Going on. And it's just kind of getting annoying. You know, I just want to make everything work. I've been putting in the work. You know, it's just all these terrorists, and I should have been embarrassed just going along the gate, out the gate, because, like I said, we're just bearish overall. Short term, yeah, we're bearish. And then look, the body's not even touching the low of the opening range gap. Let me just do some write-ups, and then I'm just calling it a day. It's painful, bro. It's painful. It's pain. It's just fucking pain. Pain, pain, pain. Pain, pain. Pain. So was looking for a continuation run up into here after the first inverse, but then almost immediately cancel the trade, knowing that we're in the wrong side of the marketplace. And we were actually bearish when I was bullish. I was bullish. Was seeing these highs as equal highs, but was wrong, and it was a big 3-point difference. Was seeing these highs, seeing these highs, and I thought this was going to be the draw. And then something else I was buying above 830 was a buying above 830, so didn't pay attention to that. Have to do that more clearly to focus more clearly and not be so married to the bullish price. especially if the tears in play. So that was the idea. So good selling opportunity here. This would have been my real entry, but Wi-Fi cut off, and was the reason why I went long in the first inverse, thinking it was going to rally higher, but in reality was on a rally higher to manipulate to rally lower. If So this was the second time that I was like on the wrong side of the marketplace. It's just been kind of tough knowing where the bias is because, like I said, different contracts months show different price data, and we're like so bearish, it's not showing the left side of the chart on the contract months. So it's kind of throwing me off. And then different, what is it called? Different like data providers, I guess, are showing different things. It was only rally higher too. So overall, my bias was wrong. When bias is wrong, that's when the trade is going to be wrong. But there was an entry going on. Just Wi-Fi cutoff was that iFVG going higher was the right idea only if price was bullish, but price immediately inverse to the other side down, and that's when I knew I was wrong. Canceling the trade before a true sell. Go. So yeah, nice idea. I should have just known that was how it's draw. Just price action, bro. Oh my goodness, maybe I should have just not seen this. The first mistake was when I but in reality it was only by side. It was super high and stops. So I was trying to force an idea that there's have to stop like that. So the main idea was I was wrong bias, and then I was forcing these as equal highs, and that was the idea. Um, I wasn't seeing it as a sweep in the morning. I was seeing it as the draw. But we already took out those highs, so obviously it makes sense that it didn't get up there. So today is April 4th. Fucking Trump. Yes, there was high news at 8:30. At 8:30. Lots of manipulation though, just hella manipulation. Just hella manipulation. Bias, bearish. Oh no, yeah, I was bullish. Position long L. Trade rating B or C plus. Or the R. 2-1 as usual. Is PA good? Or in the middle. Emotion was kind of mad that I missed the first initial move higher when my Wi-Fi cut off. So I knew I wanted to see higher prices, so I still waited. I still waited for some kind of re-entry, and that's when I entered on the iFVG on first p.FVG, but almost immediately lets me know that I'm wrong overall, and we're not bullish since we should have seen higher price. And then the thing is, the opening range gap too. That was a draw. Discount. Look, big ass gap. I mean, let me know that I was wrong, but we're not bullish since we should have seen higher prices quickly, higher after it inverse, and so I canceled the trade, knowing I was wrong. So I was right, knowing I was wrong. So yeah, a little bit of motion, I guess. Did you follow your rules? Yes. Kind of. Didn't realize I was buying above 830, but like I said, my bias was bullish. And so I wanted to see quick movement up, which was what I saw inverting the first movement, but almost immediately rallies lower, and that's when I knew I was wrong, because if we were truly bullish, price wouldn't have inverted to the downside. So bias was wrong, but definitely still a trade was if my Wi-Fi didn't cut off. Lesson learned. Number one, don't force anything that's not there. One example would be what I thought was equal highs. Well, what I thought was equal highs, but in reality, it actually took out that high, and that was me looking at that as the draw. Was wrong, and in reality, it actually swept those highs, and that's the reason why we saw lower prices, and overall we were still bearish. It only rallied higher just to get into premium levels. Profit or loss, minus 98. Yeah, so nothing big. Leverage, 2 contracts. 2 contracts. And then point move, 197. 197. 46 points. So just I thought little, so just have to work on my bias a little tricky because we're so bearish and low in prices. The higher time frames don't show the left side of the chart, and what's it called? And NQ and MNQ show different prices. I was bullish because we took out monthly swing low, but in reality in NQ it still wanted to reach to another monthly level that was relatively close. But that's the thing, I don't really like trading MNQ. The only reason I trade it is because it's only $2 in comparison to 20. And it's just kind of annoying because NQ is the true, real, raw NQ futures and not MNQ. And it shows different prices and it kind of throws me off. So idea of seeing higher prices and be respected from that reclaim or from that inverse fair value gap, it was not wrong. The thing that was wrong was my bias and these that actually took out these highs. That's where I was wrong. Okay. And then trying to buy it basically when it was already up in premium levels and we were still bearish. Look how low we are, 17K, bro. Just don't know when this is gonna stop. And it's not for a while. We've been just tanking. I was really sure to take out monthly swing low, but in reality, so uncertain. What's it called? Also can't force anything like where I was thinking we had equal highs, but should have checked how much it went through, and it did by a 3-point difference, which is not equal. And that prompted me in going on because I was seeing that as a draw. The main idea is that I was wrong either way in terms of seeing higher prices. I was wrong in terms of seeing higher prices, kind of, because like I said, still gives you an entry on my Wi-Fi cutoff, and the only reason why it went higher was to get to premium levels and into the first to retrace from. So seeing higher prices here was the idea, but I was wrong. Also have to pay attention to 830 and where I'm at in terms of 830. As you can see, I was buying above 830, but the idea was highs back to those relative equal highs as the draw. So I wanted to see a continuation run, and immediately I was wrong. Idea of going long on the iFVG on first was right in terms of bullish bias, but if we're bearish, which I didn't think we were, and that was the reason why I lost.